Today, we are going to talk about COVID-19 and its spread due to globalization. Globalization is the process by which businesses and other organizations develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. The virus has affected both the global economy and perceptions of China. Furthermore, we will also discuss its management through social media. Globalization has enabled the spread of coronavirus COVID-19 across the world due to the increased interconnectivity. 450 million domestic trips were anticipated in the spring movement period of early 2020, the largest annual movement of people on Earth. These millions of people moving around often traveled through Wuhan, carrying the virus with them to other parts of China and then to other parts of the world. The travel through Wuhan was not surprising, as Wuhan is in the heart of modern China. It is a central transport hub and is located near the Yangtze River. With a lot of transport infrastructure, poor hygiene levels, poor public hospitals, and a specific climate, it means that it is the perfect environment for the spread of viruses. Furthermore, due to the interconnectivity of the world, what happens in one country affects countries far and wide as well as its neighbours. Global supply chains and flows of people have also been disrupted by factory closures and production suspensions. This has led to many companies shutting chains down, like Starbucks and McDonald's closing outlets in mainland China, as well as most airlines cancelling flights across the world. Overall, the pandemic has highlighted the negatives of the world being so interconnected due to globalization.
At the outbreak, a survey by Ipsos Mori showed that 14% of the British public would avoid Chinese people for fear of contracting COVID-19. On the opposite side of the world, in Australia, established Chinese restaurants have been closed for the same reason. Xenophobic headlines, verbal and even physical abuse have been observed. In one case in the UK, a Chinese woman was verbally abused, and when her friend tried to intervene, she was hospitalised having been physically assaulted. The fear of coronavirus has encouraged the stigmatizing of race identity and behaviours, and exacerbated pre-existing racial stereotypes and prejudice, for example, surrounding cultural traditions such as live animal markets. There has been some pushback to this discrimination. In the Netherlands, a petition called "We Are Not Viruses" was started to protect those of Asian descent in the country, gaining around 13,700 signatures in the first day alone. The quote on the screen is from this movement. Many countries internationally have criticised China for being too slow in reacting to the virus. The Australian and US governments are both seeking to investigate where the virus started and how it spread, with President Trump reportedly wanting to sue Beijing for $10 million for every death. Germany has also demanded $160 billion in compensation. China stated that these claims were frivolous and have no factual and legal basis, although the pressure has led to China working more openly with scientists to find the source of the virus free from political interference.
In early February, the World Health Organization announced coronavirus as a mass infodemic, which refers to the spread of mostly inaccurate information that prohibits the management of the virus. They have corrected this by partnering with Twitter, Facebook, Tencent, and TikTok to restrict the spread of misinformation. This has helped with the management of the virus, as both Google and the Chinese search engine have WHO's accurate health information at the top of the search bar. Furthermore, there's been international cooperation in scientific studies among universities such as Tsinghua University in China and Imperial College London to overcome the pandemic and prevent future global health emergencies. Imperial College London announced that they'll be welcoming applications for the Tsinghua Imperial Research and Innovation Seed Fund at the beginning of the next academic year. This fund promotes and supports early-stage collaboration among academics, researchers, and students at the two universities. Overall, globalization has been significant in the spread of the coronavirus, spreading racism, xenophobia, and misinformation. However, social media has been important in the management of the coronavirus by providing accurate advice, preventing the further spread of the virus, and tracking where it spreads. On the other hand, the virus has also wounded globalization and fueled anger against China. To conclude, the word crisis in Mandarin is made up of two characters, wei ji, which mean danger and opportunity. This coronavirus crisis also presents many opportunities. Nature has significantly benefited from this pandemic, as shown by the pictures on the slide. The canals in Venice are clear and dolphins have been spotted. And the skies in New Delhi have been the clearest they have been in decades. Thank you for listening.